Anything can feel overwhelming when you're first trying to figure it out, and real estate, it's not any different. Let's be honest, most of you are probably trying to add real estate onto what is an already packed life, and if you want it to work, if you want it to last, you have to figure out a way to make it sustainable, make it fit into your lifestyle. Now in today's episode, I'll offer you 5 tips that you can adopt and customize to meet your needs and lifestyle. All right, let's get started. All right, step number 1, find time to think about real estate. If you want to think about real estate every second of every day, great, but the reality is most people don't have time to do that. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and so you need to find time to think about real estate that works and fits in your schedule. Most people that come out of the gate sprinting don't typically last, so find something that works for your lifestyle and schedule. Multitasking by listening to educational content is a great way to start to build your real estate knowledge while not taking any more time out of your day. Do you drive to work or work out during the day? Well, why not multitask by listening to a podcast while you're doing one of those activities? Or even better yet, why not listen to this YouTube channel? I've actually created playlists that you can start from the beginning and let it play through while you're driving or working out. So you can hear about these tips, hear about real estate details, and build your knowledge and educate yourself while doing another task. Do you eat lunch? I hope so. How about multitasking? Use this time while you're eating your lunch to also educate yourself more in real estate. Pull out that spreadsheet and analyze deals while you're eating your lunch. Maybe jump on the phone and make some calls, talk to some property managers, start to figure out rental rates for your target area. You can use this time to, again, build your skill set and multitask so it doesn't take additional time out of your day. In the end, you need to find the time, but you need to find time that you can be consistent with, because it's the consistency that will get you to the finish line in real estate investing. Tip number 2, you need to mentally prepare for real estate. This is a big one. In fact, it's so big, I'm gonna actually create a larger series on this. The reality is, many people do everything they need to do to get up to that starting line and then never actually start the race. Remember, real estate investing, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You don't need to know everything up front, and you definitely don't need to know everything to get started. You just need to know enough to give yourself the confidence to get started, to buy that first property. And I hope my YouTube channel helps facilitate that. You can do it. You'll learn along the way, and just like anything in life, real estate is constantly evolving, and so you're always learning because things are shifting and changing, and you need to adapt with them. But you have to get started. Now, most people that don't get started suffer from something called analysis paralysis, and if you want more information on this topic, I'll link a video to that at the end of this episode. Essentially, what analysis paralysis is, you get stuck in this cycle of overanalyzing things and never get started. There comes a point when you just have to do it. If you have a long-term mindset, it will work out in the end, so don't overthink it. Tip number 3, set a goal. Notice I said set a goal, not goals. You need to have just one, especially to start, or you'll get distracted and delay your start, or potentially never even get started. Pick a lane: single family, multifamily, long-term rentals, mid-term rentals, short-term rentals. It doesn't matter. Just pick a lane and get started. Become an expert at that particular thing in your particular market. Analyze deals consistently so that when you see an opportunity, you know it. You can always change later on, but until you become knowledgeable on a particular property type in a location, you won't be able to get started. You won't be able to convince yourself to make a purchase because you'll always question yourself. And so you need to build your knowledge. You won't be an expert right away. That's okay. You don't necessarily need to be at expert status, but you'll become an expert over time. In the meantime, you need to become knowledgeable enough to give yourself the confidence to actually make a purchase and move forward. Because if you're knowledgeable enough, that will give you the confidence to pull the trigger when you see a good deal, because you'll know it's a good deal because you've done in the work and you know what you're looking for. You've defined those goals and you're finding properties then that meet those goals, making offers on them in order to purchase them at terms that meet your criteria that you've set out. Doing that first deal will actually teach you a lot, and you'll continue to learn and build from that as you do more deals. Okay, tip number 4. Focus on the larger bits and ignore the smaller bits. You can't let the smaller details get in the way of the bigger picture. Set a goal. It's not in stone, but set a goal. Be consistent with it. Put in those reps. Start to analyze deals. Analyze deals consistently. Ideally, every time you sit down and think about real estate, but in general, as often as you can. Now, when you first start analyzing deals, it may take you some time. But as you become more knowledgeable, this will happen faster and you'll literally be able to sit down and analyze a property in only a few minutes. This will allow you to spot a deal when you see it. It will also allow you to move forward without hesitation because you know what a good deal looks like. Tip number 5, build your team. Your team can make or break your real estate investing experience, especially if you're outsourcing everything. Are you planning on self-managing the property? If so, you should start to familiarize yourself with the local rental rules and regulations. If not, Google some property managers in the area that you're looking to invest and interview them. Tip here, don't just ask them about their services. Of course, you want to know what they're going to charge and what's included in that charge. But also ask them about the market. Ask them about the various neighborhoods. Ask them about the rental rates of various types of products in those neighborhoods. Also, make sure when you're gathering information about your target location, be it rental rates or neighborhoods and things of that nature, that you're capturing it. I like to use a spreadsheet, but use whatever works best for you. Regardless of if you're self-managing or hiring out a property manager, you do want to become familiar with rental rates because this helps you when you're analyzing properties. So if you're looking to long-term rent, you can check sources like Zillow Rentals as well as Bigger Pockets to get rental rates for a particular area. If you're looking to short-term rent a property, then you can check out sites like AirDNA or my favorite, Rabu. Once you know the property type you're looking for and the location, you should reach out and find an investor-friendly agent. Of course, you can always reach out to me and I can help you find one in your particular state if you'd like. Also note here that if you do actually do your due diligence and you spend that time understanding the type of property you're looking for, you pick that lane and you understand more about the location you're looking to invest in, you understand about rental rates, this will give you a better knowledge of the market and allow you to provide better information to your agent to then help you find those properties. And that's it. Of course, there are many more tips that I could provide you, but when you first start out in real estate investing, you need to focus. And these are the 5 tips that I have found to be the most beneficial for those just getting started. As always, reach out with any questions. If you want to stay up to date on my latest content, then please subscribe. Don't forget to start binge listening to my content, and we'll see you on the next episode.